Hello everybody, I'm very happy to be here again. I was honored to be part of Organon last year already, now together with Philipp. And just a short time after the last symposium, we had the honor to be invited to play in Amsterdam at the Huygens-Fokker Foundation. And this was a very special occasion because at this place in Amsterdam they have an organ with 31 tones per octave and 4 registers, so more than 600 pipes. And for, let's say, a few years, at least 6, Philipp and I are intensively working and thinking about how to integrate saxophone to the organ and to the claviton keys and vice versa, and to work on a common musical language based on let's say bebop and jazz tradition. As it might be known, 31 tone is a very tonal approach. So it is can be traced back to tetrachords and the mean tone intonation of hexachords. Last year I gave an overview on that. Today I want to show how this 31 tones can be played with various interfaces. As you may know, the Fokker organ in Amsterdam has a very special keyboard with the isomorphic layout. I play the claviton instruments, which I did myself. There are several kinds. This was the tiniest 2-octave digital controller, actually a MIDI controller, which goes into the computer, and I want to explain how it works playing the Fokker organ with this keyboard, and then as a second part we will play a little and Philipp explains his thoughts on that. So you see me and Philipp in Amsterdam, and you see the concert hall, and above you see the organ. This is the organ console of the Huygens-Fokker Foundation of this Fokker organ, which was built actually in the 1960s with the isomorphic layout, very tiny keys actually. So Ere Livonen, he's the organ player at this place, and he was very nice to share everything he worked on over the last years with the digital environment controlling this organ, because he plays this keyboard together with 12-tone keyboards and use it as subsets. And he developed this Max-based software. I want to show how it works now. And you see the claviton, the 5-octave claviton in front, and this 5-octave keyboard controls the 600 pipes organ, which is here above. So it's wooden and metal pipes. This was the program. All right. To be able to practice on the organ, there is this special software developed. And went through all 31 keys diatonically, and first of all, just a few words on the keyboard layout. It's tetrachord based, and it's about the interlocking the hexachords. So it's not an isomorphic layout, as I already explained, and the so-called enharmonic scale turns out to be a very bizarre fingering compared to the normal piano. So in order to be able to play all the, I need to figure out a very special fingering, because the ascending pitches are not, as you might think, are organized this way. But the specialty of the 31 is that every key has a diatonic identity. So there is no need of special accidentials, and there is no need of microtonal thinking. Actually, it turns out to be a result of any tonal structure you want to build. And in, let's say, jazz harmony, there are many third-based complex chords where you are able to choose some special intonations for. And in this field of either having the precise diatonic intonation or choosing a spectral, that means closer to the harmonic, or in a different way, closer to the harmonic scale, then you're challenged to choose either, for instance, B flat or A sharp. For septimal chords, for 11 limit chords, (13 limit chords), so you kind of can think in just intonation in a very special intonation of this 31 equal temperament. So, and now I will show how this works. This is first of all, it's the 3 MIDI keyboards inside, because it's based on 12-tone controllers, and then they're organized with this special Max programmed software by Ere, and then I can have some fixed registrations to be selected when playing, like for instance for registration. And for our special concert, I designed a special registration list for the set, and then changing the registration via the computer, and the organ reacted very precisely. So it's not a very loud organ, but it's a very precise action. And it was a very special moment. And now, please, Philipp, tell us your thoughts.
Yes, for me, on the saxophone, I play all kinds of quartet of microtones, like I play very small intervals, like 128 tones per octave, and I try to integrate this into a jazz language. And maybe let's play a little bit, and then I think we're also over already. The time should be now. So. And you can ask us afterwards whatever you like. Sorry in advance, but I think I have to leave pretty much early after the show. So that you like this? Okay. Yeah. Okay. We never had this before. Okay. So just want to present you some sounds that are able now, because we can play jazz harmony in like 7 limit and some 11 limit, and throw in different approach tones, throw in different guide tones, playing different kinds of sharp 9 intervals, going like bluesy. All of kind of these sounds, and play some sharp 11. And coming from a blues tradition and expanding the blues tradition by throwing in the different kinds of microtonal approaches. I think the time is over, right? So I don't want to.
We have like 3 more minutes.
Okay, so
maybe there are questions.
So maybe you have questions now, no?
You said 7 limit, 11 limit. What
it means basically that we use up to the 11th partial or up to the 13th partial, like dealing with this subset. But in fact, this is not true, because as you can hear, I'm having much finer deviations of tones. However, when I play a line, like in an 8th note line, how can you tell the difference between and so this like gets a bit lost in an 8th note line. So, but yeah. But there might be other uses for that. If you play slower compositions, or if I'm playing different contemporary contexts, this comes in very handy.
One little more question.
Sure.
For example, when you do this timbre trill,
Yeah.
how much difference of scent are there inside?
It depends. So if I'm playing in 128 tone, then the first deviation is like 12 cents, 13 cents, 12 cents, like. However, I can also put one in between. And now it's like absurd small. So like basically any pitch is be able to be displayed in a variety of contexts. Yeah. Yeah, sure.
Is it possible to sing and play in the microtonal context, so you have the beating effect, like the C and the C look very slightly sharp, and you see it sing the C into it?
So usually singing slightly out of tune is harder, because you actually want to blend with the physics and with the sound in the room, because it's an embodied experience that you have with it. So playing slightly out of tune, you notice from various contexts, is for non-fixed pitch instruments kind of hard, because you want to adjust to what is around in the room, so blending in. So that's possible with the saxophone, and sometimes you play with this beating effect, but yeah, it's an extra layer of expression.
Okay.
Good.
Thank you very much.